Okay, it is ghost story time. I use these filters, these crazy filters like this, when I'm telling a ghost story to keep the energy high because certain entities will start to gather when you speak of them. So, this ghost story is involving me as a little girl. We were living in a mobile home, single wide mobile home, and it was time for school. And you know that when you're going to school in the morning time, you get up 4 dark in the morning, as your grandmama said. And I would always, stay in bed. Mama would come in and say, Trish, it's time to wake up. And I would be like, okay. And then she would go in the bathroom, and I could hear her in the bathroom because the bathroom was right next door to the room that I was staying in. And then, she would, so then I knew I had a little bit more time before she came in and said, get up, period. So I was just like in that in between state, that infamous in between state, just kind of dozing in and out. And I heard in the hallway, and me and Mama said at the same time each other's names. I was like, Mama, and she said, Treasure, and we just said, ah! We were screaming because what is coming down the hallway? It's just us now. My aunt and my uncle were staying with us at the time. So they were in the room on the other end of the trailer. And my uncle, he was one of those guys that thought he's one of those guys who's always saying he's from somewhere, like those New York guys. I'm from New York, right? Like, and so he was saying, I'm from Montgomery, right? Well, that's the attitude he had. Like, I'm not afraid. So me and Mama had ran, and me, Mama, and my brother had ran to that side of the trailer, and I felt myself running through whatever it was, and it was just cold as ice. And I was like, "Ah!" Got to the other end, and my uncle, and we were just standing there. My uncle had his shirt off, but he had his pants on, of course, and so he was like, "What is it?" So he just went and walked down to the middle of the hallway. The thing walked through him. And long story short, a man had killed himself in the trailer before Mama got it. And I believe that that was who it was because that whoever it was would shake the bed at night. Sometimes and then when I got pregnant at 16, I would see ghosts all the time. I usually don't see ghosts. I usually feel them, but I would see, and he was standing in the living room because I was sleeping on the couch because the bed would be shaking so much sometimes. And I woke up and there he was standing there, and he looked like he was made. Part. Okay, so a man had killed himself in the trailer and shot himself. And when we first got the trailer, my uncle had gone through, my mother's brother, not her brother-in-law, had gone through, and he was just kind of surveying the trailer because we were real poor. So when Mama got her trailer, it was a big deal. It was a new, well, it's not new. It was used, but it smelled new and it looked new. So my uncle was going through, just kind of touring the place before furniture got in there, and he found a casing. And so this particular uncle, my aunt's uncle, my aunt's husband, who was staying with us, the one had he went down the hallway, okay, because he was like big bad. He had his shirt off, and I mentioned that he had his shirt off. So he was all big and bad, went down the hallway, and in the middle of the hallway, and the thing walked through him. Bloom, bloom. While we were standing there, it bloom walked through him, and he came back up that hallway like this, and he chill bumps was all. He looked like chicken. It looked like chicken flesh, and he was like, "Oh, what is that? What is that? What is that? What is that?" Um, and it was such a big deal. I remember putting the Bible in the hallway that night before I went to bed. My grandfather came over and kind of, he walked in and around because we were so terrified when that happened. It was so frightening. Um, and, my mother sold that trailer to someone in the same community that we're from. I haven't heard anything from them about anything. Matter of fact, I do believe that soul transition, uh, uh, you know, not long after I left out, it was gone because there would be times I would go in the trailer. I remember one time we were everybody was sitting outside on grandmother's mama's front porch, and you could look out the trailer window, the back trailer window, and see everyone sitting out there. Mama said, "Go in the house and bring a comb. Mama, do your auntie bring that comb and that grease, right?" So she could do my auntie's hair. I go in there and I'm up on top of the counter because I'm like, where is the grease? I can't find it. And it we had cabinets, like high cabinets. So I was like, looking, and something was just turning the light on and off, click, click, click. So I'm like, oh my God. So the mirror's right here, right? So I look in the mirror and I look at the light switch, click, click, click. It's going up and down. Just to make sure I understand that he is in the building. I grabbed my comb. I grabbed that comb, I grabbed that grease, and I ran through it one more time. That's my ghost story.